Morrison. I've got a really good video for you today, and it is about why it is so hard to recover and what you need to do about it. And it's really cool because the opposites really show here. So when we can see what doesn't work and why it doesn't work, then we can figure out why we need to do something different. Okay, and let's just start right on the whiteboard. Yeah, so if you can see here, I'm going to flip this camera around. This is a pretty interesting video today. So if you can see, uncertainty is the number one thing that causes the first problem anyway, which is with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, which is the uncertainty from qualified doctors and trainers and people who you expect to know what to do, but they don't help you anyway, right? And when you're uncertain, that creates huge angst and anxiety and worry and fear and frustration and, you know, lots of different emotions, which then cause a lot of energy depletion and physical exhaustion in the first place, yeah? So, if that is the number one problem, then we need to look at a solution. But I'm going to go through all the problems first, then I'm going to give you all the solutions, yeah? So just hang with me for about 5 minutes and we'll go through this really easily and it'll make a lot of sense. So the first problem with the chronic illness, like chronic fatigue syndrome or fibro, literally is the uncertainty that comes with it. We don't know what's going on, yeah? And hey to all of you guys who are going to be watching this video or who are watching this right now. So uncertainty is the biggest issue because we don't know what's going on, what's wrong with us. We've got all these different major symptoms. We've got brain fog, leg pain, sore throat, swollen glands, you know, like we could have anything at this stage. We don't know what it is. So uncertainty is a big problem, yeah? The next thing with uncertainty is isolation. So once you're uncertain and you get put in a box like, you know, it's all in your head or you don't know what's wrong with you, so good luck. Then you feel isolated. And in here, when you're isolated, you literally just are so stuck, you don't know what to do. You shut yourself off from the world, you go into your bedroom, you rest all day, you do nothing, out of fear of doing too much or doing the wrong thing, right? Which creates more uncertainty, which completely keeps you trapped, yeah? And this goes for life, not just chronic fatigue syndrome. We're talking specifically about this because this is why you're on this channel watching right now. So, you've got uncertainty and isolation. If you're uncertain, you isolate. When you isolate, you stay uncertain, yeah? You think you're certain because you're like, yeah, I'm just going to isolate, so this is how I'm going to cope with it. But coping keeps you back in the loop of uncertainty and it's not a good place to be in. The third thing is too much info, yeah? Too much information. There's so much information out there that it's like, what do I do? Do I focus on my diet? Do I focus on not exercising? Do I focus on exercising? Do I get a coach? Do I not get a coach? Do I join this program? Do I join that program? Yeah, there's so much information out there and there's a lot of free information out there which is great, but it's all too much. And the thing is with information nowadays is we don't take anything in anyway. It's just attention issues. So we don't have the attention span to actually listen and embed the knowledge that we're learning. Instead, we're kind of just looking at a screen. We're not actually understanding the information and then getting it and doing something with that, okay? So too much information, again, causes uncertainty, then causes isolation. Conflicting beliefs is number 4. So there's so many different beliefs out there and whatever you believe really is going to determine your outcome or, you know, your way of going about life. So if you believe that you can't do anything about your situation, it means you're certain if you're certain that you can't change your situation or circumstance, then it creates certainty. But it's not the wrong kind of certainty, it's false certainty because it means that you're literally just going around in circles. You're just saying, okay, there's nothing I can do about it, I'm staying here. And when you just stay there, nothing happens. If you believe that, then your actions are going to justify the reasoning behind that, okay? So, but if you see, if you believe, you know, there's so many people out there who think that you can't even improve with chronic fatigue syndrome. Well, we know that's bullshit because, you know, there's people who are getting better all the time. You know, like, what was it, 15 years ago, I was really sick with chronic fatigue syndrome for 4 years. Bedridden, you know, symptoms that would put you in hospital, right? And here I am living in my own house and, yeah, you know, living my own independent life. So, there's thousands of people, there's thousands of clients in our online recovery program, and I'm going to share with you a couple of amazing success stories soon. Actually, I'm going to upload some videos with some interviews of a couple of women in their 30s and 40s who have just done incredibly well. We've got people camping, surfing. We've got one girl who's been on a 4-month holiday. Got another girl who just started full-time work. Got another guy who's fully recovered. There's just so many stories. So and there's the divider. There's the I don't do anything. I can't do anything. I literally can't do anything about my situation. Then there's people who say I can do something. I can do something. They move forwards. The other ones stay stuck or go backwards. Okay. So conflicting beliefs is something that's really hard when you're going through something like chronic fatigue syndrome, because again, whatever you believe, your actions will follow. So if you believe you can maybe improve just a tiny little bit, then that's going to help you at least move forwards and move on to the next station in terms of improving. And let's just say, focus on short-term improvements, or literally 5 or 10% improvements, not these quick fix overnight things, because that's where you go wrong. The fifth thing that's really hard is the physical and emotional pain that actually is chronic fatigue syndrome. So you've got all your physical symptoms. I don't really need to go through them, but whether it's POTS or brain fog or muscle aches and pains, all those kinds of things, sore throat, post-exertional malaise. There's so many different things, but I probably don't do it justice by just saying that, but all you need to do is go through our YouTube channel to watch all those different videos about that, and you'll soon realise if you've got chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia, you know how hard it is. Okay, so this here is the one of the main obstacles that we all go through: emotional pain. So the suffering of the physical pain, and then the emotional suffering of losing our identity and what we once were. And a lot of us stay stuck in that, thinking that we need to get the old person back and not create the new person. You can love the old person, but you can create a new you. And I was talking about this with a client yesterday about finding new things that create success. So, for instance, if you determine success by how you look, and let's say you can't determine, and now you don't like what you see. Well, where can you find strengths in other areas of your life that create success too? Okay, because over time we change, and we have to let go of what we once thought we were in order to move forwards and beyond that. And that's where emotional pain comes in, because we hold on to what we once were, and that's friggin' exhausting and tiring, and we need to let that go. Okay, so we've got that, and then one more, which is stuck and moving. What I've written is actually moving towards, which is actually the focus, but stuck. So just literally stuck in your own head, stuck, if you're having a shit day, you know what it's like. You're stuck, you don't know what to do, you give up, you're hopeless, you're helpless, you don't think you can get better, and you go back to the emotional pain. But you see here, this let's just say physical and emotional pain is like chronic fatigue syndrome, like that's just classified as all the shit that's going on. But then you've got all these secondary problems: conflicting beliefs, too much information, isolation, uncertainty, and you can see how it all filters around, yeah? So no wonder it's so damn hard going through chronic fatigue syndrome. No wonder it's so damn hard going through fibromyalgia, because it creates not only the actual problem of the real neurological issues that you're facing and you're going through, and your body's just trying to catch up with itself and heal and relax, but it's in a state of stress and anxiety, and it just can't switch off. You've got all this other stuff, and this is what actually creates a lot of the problem: the uncertainty, the conflicting beliefs, too much information, isolation, uncertainty. Do you agree with me? If you do, hit the like button. It makes so much sense. That's why it's so friggin' hard. So I'm going to give you some things that can help you move forwards. And they're really common sense stuff. And this is what people think is like, this is too simple. It's not too simple. This is half the problem. This is what half the people deal with. This is the struggle, guys. This is the actual struggle right here. All this stuff, not just chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, not just the actual illness itself, because that in itself is so hard, and you wouldn't want to wish it upon your worst enemy. But you've got all this other stuff. You've got all these other things to deal with. You not only do you just have to deal with the actual problem, now you've got to deal with conflicting beliefs. Now you've got to deal with all the other people, what everyone else is saying. Oh, what does everyone else say? What is mum and dad saying? What's your spouse saying? What's everyone saying on the internet? What's all the support groups saying? Oh, you can't get better, or you can get better. Oh, I did this and you shouldn't do that. This is a big time waster. You need to cut that out. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Too much information, it's just all too much, okay? So, all right, let's talk about doing some good things. So we've obviously got uncertainty, isolation, too much information, conflicting beliefs, physical, emotional pain, stuck, moving forwards. Okay, so the first thing is actual chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. It's real. You're not going crazy. You don't need to keep searching for a million different answers. Once you accept that you're actually going through something like this, and you've got all the tests, you've had all the exclusions, you don't have any other illness, acceptance of, okay, this is what I've got going on. It's not my end. It's not my end. It's my beginning. And look at it as in a way of going, okay, this is the shit that I've got to deal with. Now what am I going to do? Okay. That way you can just put that at rest for a little while. Okay. You're not going to have to constantly think and worry about it every second of the day. The next thing is conflicting beliefs. Get rid of anything that doesn't support you or help you move forwards. Literally, just cut it all out. Get rid of the support groups that aren't actually supportive. There, I said it, okay? I don't give a shit who you are. Even if you run one of these support groups and you start bagging me on this channel, piss off. Because you can see, you're just trying to create certainty in your own life by saying that you can't get better because you believe, that's your belief. And I understand that, and that's okay. I'm not here to preach from the top of the chairs. I'm just saying, if you want to believe that you can improve your life, then that's great. If you want to believe that you can't, then that's okay too. We all go through phases, yeah? So at the end of the day, if you're not being supported in a support group, then get out of it. If you're going in and then feeling shitter when you leave it, that's not a support group, right? That just makes you feel safe because other people are going through a shit. We all go through a shit, we know that. But start finding things that actually freaking get you out of the place where you don't want to be in, right? Not ones that keep you staying there and stuck there, right? So we've got that. Just doing that alone will create a lot more certainty in your life. Literally. Yes. So many people have commented and sent me emails saying that, not all support groups are bad, by the way. There's some great ones, but yeah, and it's not just support groups. It can be doctors. You could go and see a doctor and the doctor says, you're not doing it right. You're making it up. It's all in your head. Get rid of that doctor. Fire him. Get a new doctor, right? Same thing with psychologists. If someone's bringing you down and you're feeling shitter every session and you're not feeling better from it, you're not improving, whether it's your personal development, your emotional, spiritual development, or your physical development, why would you keep going back? It's like if I went to a trainer and I was really fat and I started paying them, hundreds of dollars every single week to lose fat, but I kept gaining more weight with training with them, would I keep going or would I not? I think you all know the answer. So by doing that, by getting rid of that literally gives you so much certainty. And it gets rid of the uncertainty of different conflicting beliefs, okay? So that's super important. Now, isolation. This is really important. When you're isolated, you need help getting out of that. What do you do when you're isolated? You ask for help. One of the best pieces of advice my father ever gave me recently, which was a problem shared is a problem halved. Okay? If you're struggling, just reach out. Literally, just like you're allowed to talk about how shit you feel. It's scary, it's vulnerable, but when you reach out to people who, when you need it, when you're really in a really dark place, which is why you isolate, it'll really help you move forward. It's another thing with isolation. So a problem shared is a problem halved. Remember that. Now, another quick thing you can do is when you're isolated is actually set up some boundaries. So no matter how crap you feel, get out of your bedroom, right? Even if you can just get out for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. having some strict routine and structure, not strict as in like you have to do this and, you know, like you were back at primary school, because we don't want to do that, but having things to look forward to and getting you out of that stuck state, that isolation state, is going to be so good for you, all right? Whether it's getting up, having a meal, calling a friend, speaking to someone, getting into a supportive group that actually you can chat to and talk with is really important too. So that will help you with the isolation part, right? It's good to learn to be on your own and learn to rest and relax. But yeah, the isolation can get bad if you're literally consciously trying to shut off because you've got a lot of fear or whatever. I hope this makes sense when you're watching this. Does it make sense to you guys watching? If it does, again, let us know in the comments. Now, the next thing is, we've already spoken about conflicting beliefs, but too much information. And this is really important that even I'm going through. We're all going through it because we're all attached to things like social media and things. So too much information, that really means put the phone down and stop trying to absorb all this different information. You know what? You are better off not getting any information. You're better off putting your phone down, not looking at all these different screens, maybe put some music on and just be on your own. That'll help you come up with better information for yourself, rather than trying to consume all these different videos, all these different people trying to, you know, just give you lots of information. Now, and I'm one of them. You're learning information from me, but you're choosing to be engaged with this, right? And if it helps, then that's really good. But, you know, half the time when we listen to stuff, we're not actually listening. It's just background noise. And I'm guilty of it too. So if you can just like have a select 1 or 2 or 3 things that you like to listen to or watch and engage with, then that's good. But the rest of the time, shut out of it. And it's a conscious decision. It's hard. I know it's hard because these are all addictions. Being on your phone and stuff like that when you're bored, it's the first thing you do is just look up and watch a video. But you're not actually watching it. You just listen. It's this background noise. It's not even actual information. So stop researching all the time is a really good thing, because information is just information. It actually doesn't mean application. You're better off paying someone to get a program written for you and then going off and doing it, right? Rather than just listening to the same shit every day and not actually doing anything about it, okay? What do we got here? So isolation, again, I just want to say one more thing, is have things to do. And they can be little hobbies. I always say to all my clients, all my online members, just have a little hobby, you know, even if it's like drawing, painting, playing cards, counting numbers, looking at beautiful artwork, whatever. Have little hobbies that can just get you going, get you out of this dark isolation place in a dark room. We don't want that. It's not healthy, right? It's sunny outside, yeah? It's beautiful outside, so go out there and enjoy it if you can. And even if you can't, sit at a window and look out. That's a starting point. We've spoken about the physical and emotional pain, and the solution to that is actually just doing all the right things, okay? I don't really want to talk about that too much because most of us know what to do, we just don't do it, okay? So things like getting to bed earlier, and to be honest, there's a few extra things. There's extra things like literally learning new skills and techniques and tools and behaviors to help you, you know, relax, to help you get more energy, to help you get into a better state, to help you do new things, to help you build, you know, stronger muscles and healthier working body and build your immune system. So, and that goes in with sleep, nutrition, restorative movement, mindset, personal development, things like that. So, you know, there's programs out there. We run a fantastic program around the world. You know, it's what you engage with the most, and then getting the accountability and the help to actually just make you, you know, get you doing it. You know, like I said, like too much information. There's just way too much information out there, and just stop trying to absorb more stuff and just get on with it, your own life, and start living and doing the right things for you specifically, because, you know, you're your own individual. You've got to figure out what works for you, okay? And the last thing here is, yeah, and this is the other thing, and this is a perfect reminder that someone just messaged in recently, is have fun, you know? Just like get some fun, play some nice music, learn to play an instrument, even if it's a couple of minutes a day. Do fun things, and you'll find that you get unstuck. Yeah. So if you look here, stuck. What can we do when we're stuck? We're either looking in the past or looking into the future into a really bad mystical ball. We're looking down, going, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good future. And that's okay. Fear's normal, but we've all got fear, but we've still got to move past it. So if you're stuck, what can you move forward towards with? And even making your bed in the morning is something actually really useful. Doing little things like chores around the house, if you can, cooking a meal, planning for the next day ahead, write down a to-do list. That will help you get unstuck. Okay? Now, these are so ridiculously simple that it just sounds stupid. It's just like, they're not even big deals. And this is where, when we're watching videos like this, we go, nah, whatever, and we watch the next video. But honestly, I can tell you that I've been doing this in my own life I don't even have chronic fatigue syndrome, right? Of course, I've got emotional pain. We've all got that. We've all got to deal with our different things. And I've been doing these solutions. So, doing all the right things physically and mentally. So helping myself be the strongest version of myself, okay? Eating really well, sleeping really well, sweating, doing the right things, having swims, all that kind of stuff, having fun, socializing, doing all those things. But also having to-do lists, also making my bed in the morning, also just having just the daily little things that we forget about, we take for granted. Doing those things to get the day started, to get the ball rolling, helps you with your energy, helps you with your health, helps you with your mind, and it really moves you forward. So it gives you a lot more certainty. It gets you out of the isolation stage, where you're just like shutting off to the world. That's not friggin' healthy at all. And reach out for help if you need it. I think that's really important too. So there you have it, guys. I hope that really helps you. That's there all on the whiteboard. I just think, if you look at all the like ancient teachings and Chinese philosophers and all that kind of stuff, it's all simple. None of it's complex. So just get the help you need to simplify and move forwards. And and that's what our program's about, and that's what I'm really proud of with all our coaches and our actual online video program. It's not complicated, but it helps you just get out of it, get out of that isolation, get out of that uncertainty, and actually start moving and progressing forwards for your own life. So, it's just so helpful to do that. Awesome. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching this video. Yeah, back to basics, but just get on with it anyway. It's not, there's nothing fancy. There's no answer. Like, stop trying to find the one thing that's going to change your life, and just change your life, and just do the basics. I think we've just become so with the internet and the social media and all that kind of stuff, we've just been so bombarded with the next best thing that we just forget to simplify it, play the long game, do the things that actually help us, and maybe just appreciate the life that we've got and the life that we're building and moving towards. So yeah, that's it. Just wanted to share those things with you. Probably one of the most important videos I've done to date. Take care, guys.